Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 23rd October 2023. My name is T.S.V. Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. Hardan, 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 Haribol, TRSV, Nectar, NECTAR, Nectar. In this particular vlog, in all my previous videos, we have been discussing about the knowledge and information that we have gleaned through the contemplation of material universe, meditation on the spiritual universe, reading of spiritual books and scriptures. This particular video is no exception to that rule. In fact, it is a mere continuation of all that we have been doing in all my previous videos. So kindly subscribe to this vlog and press the bell icon so that I may keep reminding you of all my previous, present, and future videos. Let us continue with the topic of discussion for today's video. In the past few videos, we have been trying to analyze the psyche of every human living entity in this material universe, whether male or female. In that process, we discussed about two terms which are quite in vogue while analyzing the psyche of any human living entity. These two terms are called intelligence and cunning. It has been generally believed that when the head of a human living entity, whether male or female, controls the heart of his or her body, that is, gross body, then that person is considered to be intelligent. On the other hand, when the same person's heart starts to control his or her head, the same person suddenly transforms into cunning. In other words, both these processes or reactions or arrangements are present in every human living entity, whether male or female. We are all both intelligent and cunning. In all our cases, our head rules our heart sometimes, and our heart rules our head sometimes. When it is the first case, when we are having our head rule our heart, we are called intelligent. Whereas when the heart starts ruling our head, we are called cunning. Please remember that when one part is active, the other part is alive but dormant in the individual psyche of every human living entity, whether male or female. It depends on the destiny, karma, taste, preferences, whims, fantasies, atmosphere, surrounding, experience, and maturity of every living entity to choose between intelligence or cunning, or in other words, whether he or she must allow his or her head to rule her or his heart, or for the heart to rule his or her head. It entirely depends on the individual living entity, whether male or female. This thing we must keep in mind before proceeding further. Now, here, both head and heart are part of the gross body of every human living entity, whether male or female. Both head and heart and the gross body form the fourth layer of the four layers that are used by this material world to envelop the spirit soul which has come in touch with the material world. The three of the first layers are made up of ether, and so they are called subtle. They are the first layer of causal body of intelligence and logic, the astral body of mind, feelings, and emotions, the third body of etheric senses, namely two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, one tongue, and one skin, and the fourth gross body made up of four elements, which are air, fire, water, and earth. Hence, here we must take into consideration that we are only talking about the head and the heart of the fourth layer, that is the gross body. So, here intelligence means when the head, which is the astral body of mind, feelings, and emotions, controls the heart, that is the etheric body of five senses. And here we do not take into account the causal body of pure intelligence and logic. There is a particular reason for our doing so. It is because this causal body of intelligence is closest to the spirit soul, being the first layer. Further, it forms only 5% of the total human living entity in the society. Even this 5% is divided into 3% material and 2% spiritual. Hence, the contribution of the causal body of intelligence is hardly minimal when it comes to deciding about the psyche of every human living entity in the society in one lifetime. The major part is played by the astral body of mind, feelings, and emotions, and the etheric body of senses. Hence, when we say head ruling the heart, it means that the astral body of mind is ruling the etheric body of senses. Ruling means vibrations emanating out of the astral body of mind and reaching the brain tissue of the same living entity. And the vibrations of the etheric body of senses that are also hitting the same brain. Let us make it more clear. When a living entity is born in a particular lifetime, whether it is a male or a female, vibrations start emanating from all the three layers of the subtle body of that particular individual. Whether it is the causal body of pure intelligence and logic, the astral body of mind, feelings, and emotions, or the etheric body of senses being five in number, that is sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. These vibrations hit the mass of tissue that is embedded in the cranium of every living entity. This mass of tissues is known as brain. The brain receives all these vibrations, and according to several factors as mentioned in my previous discourse in this video, it starts processing those vibrations from different subtle bodies. For our convenience, I will repeat that it is based on the destiny, karma, intelligence, maturity, whims, fantasies, tastes, preferences, surrounding, atmosphere, and other such factors which control how the brain operates, which type of vibrations from which subtle body of any human living entity, whether male or female. And based on this, the gross body or the rest of the gross body reacts when the juice extracted from such vibrations is percolated down the gross body by the same brain. And that is why here we have to differentiate between heart, that is the etheric body of senses, ruling the head, that is the astral body of mind, or the head, that is the astral body of mind, ruling the heart, that is the etheric body of senses. This thing we must keep in mind before proceeding further. In the past few videos, we have been discussing about several case histories which will authenticate this particular argument in considering or analyzing the psyche of every human living entity. Today we are going to discuss about another such case history. Kindly remember that in this case, the protagonist and the antagonist are both reptiles or mammals, but they have been directly connected to the human living entities to understand the human living entity's psyche better. So let us proceed. There was a very big river that flowed in one particular part of India. There were several trees in the banks of that particular river. One of those trees, which was very near the sea or the river, was one Java plum or Indian blackberry tree. Java plum or Indian blackberry is a very tasty and sweet fruit which is known as jamun in Hindi in the Indian language. Here, while discussing this particular case history, we shall therefore refer this fruit to that particular word called jamun. There was one huge crocodile which was living in that river, while there was a monkey that lived in that jamun tree. Because this monkey was living in that jamun tree, it used to regularly enjoy eating the fruit called jamun in that tree. This fruit grew abundantly in that jamun tree. One day, when this monkey was enjoying eating that fruit, yonder came that crocodile and crept out of the sea into the bank. The crocodile and the monkey were looking at each other for the first time. After some hesitation, they came closer mentally and soon became acquaintances and then friends of a formal type. They exchanged pleasantries with each other whenever they met. One day, this crocodile asked this monkey, "What are you eating?" The monkey said, "Jamun." This crocodile asked him, "Is it very tasty?" The monkey said, "Taste for yourself," and gave a bunch of jamun to that crocodile. The crocodile tasted that jamun for the first time in his long life. He found it very sweet and tasty. He complimented and thanked that monkey, and after this exchange of jamun food, the two became closer and soon enough became thickest of friends. They started exchanging details about each other's family, their own life, their career, etc. They became very, very close. Now, every day, regularly, this crocodile would come to the banks of the river, and the monkey used to feed him those jamun fruits. So far, so good. Both the crocodile and the monkey were simple, innocent, guileless living beings who were friendly with each other and both enjoyed that sweet jamun fruit. It is very evident that both had their heads firmly fixed on their own respective wide shoulders, and hence their head ruled their hearts, and they became normally intelligent and not cunning. They liked each other and they started enjoying each other's company. One day, the crocodile, who had by now been enjoying the sweetness and taste of the jamun fruit, requested the monkey to give him some more so that he could give the same jamun fruit to his wife who was waiting deep down in the river for him. Monkey did not object. When the crocodile had his own taste of that food for that day and had eaten it to the full, the monkey plucked another bunch of the same fruit and gave it to the crocodile, saying, "Please go and give it to your wife with my compliments." This crocodile now dutifully took this fruit home and gave it to his wife. This lady crocodile tasted that fruit and she relished every drop of its sweetness and taste. She enjoyed eating that fruit. After relishing it to her heart's will, she asked her husband, the male crocodile, "Where did you bring this sweet fruit from?" The crocodile said, "It was given to me by my best friend, the monkey, who is sitting in a tree on the banks of that river, and that too on a jamun tree. He plucks these fruits and gives to me regularly for tasting." The lady crocodile said, "I find these fruits very, very tasty. Kindly compliment your friend and ask him to give some more for me." The male crocodile dutifully went and said this to the monkey. The monkey was very happy. He gave a couple of bunches of the same fruit to that male crocodile to be given to that female crocodile. For some time it went on normally. All the three had their head firmly placed on their shoulders, and so it was ruling their heart. They were considered to be quite intelligent. However, times changed. One day, this lady, when she had full her fill of that tasty fruit, found that gradually he was getting greedy for that fruit. She found helplessly that her heart of etheric body of senses had begun creeping out and was now trying to rule her own head. Simultaneously, and resulting because of this, where her own heart began ruling her head, she turned to her husband, the male crocodile, and said, "These fruits are so tasty. Your friend the monkey must have been eating this fruit for a very long time. If these fruits are so tasty, then how tasty and sweet must be his, that is, that monkey's heart. Why don't you bring your monkey friend to our house? We will dine him and wine him, and then we will devour his heart." The male crocodile was initially stunned. He never expected his own wife to be so cunning, mean, greedy, and lusty, so much so that now she just wanted to eat just not that sweet food, but also the heart of the monkey which had been eating this fruit all its life and which had been generous enough to give the same to the two crocodiles. However, he could not refuse the request from his female counterpart. The male crocodile went back one day to the banks of the river and then told the monkey, "My dear friend, my wife is very jubilant because of the taste of the fruits that you gave to me as a gift. She loved every munch of the same fruit, and she is still relishing the taste that is lingering in her mouth. Hence, she has graciously invited you to our own humble abode so that we may wine and dine you and treat you to a good dinner in our own house." The monkey was still quite intelligent and innocent. His head still ruled his heart. He never could imagine the sudden change in his own best friend, the crocodile. That is the male crocodile. He had hardly seen the female crocodile. Hence, this guy came out of or climbed down the tree and went to the crocodile. He said, "Sure, let us go to your house for a lavish dinner." The crocodile said, "Okay, then you sit on my back and we will swim down to the depths of this river to the abode where my wife is waiting for you." The monkey agreed. Both of them started back to the crocodile's abode under the sea. When they reached the middle of the river, this crocodile, who was after all not as conniving and cunning as his own female counterpart, spilled out the beans. He told this monkey, "My dear friend, let me be very frank with you. My wife said that because the fruits, that is the jamun fruits, are so sweet and tasty, hence your heart must also be sweeter and more tasty. She intends to devour your heart and not to wine and dine you." The monkey was in for a very big shock. He could never imagine such a royal betrayal from this crocodile who, for till now, he had been considering his best friend. However, this monkey, as mentioned above, was very intelligent. His head still ruled his heart. He said, "Alas, crocodile boss, my best friend, you are so late. If only you had told me this in the bank, I would have brought my heart with me together so that your wife could have enjoyed that heart, which is far sweeter than not only the jamun fruit but also my body. Even now, it is not too late. We may go back to the bank. I will climb up the tree, take out my heart from where I have hidden it, bring it back, and then we can go to your abode for your wife to eat my heart. This crocodile, who had by now had his own heart ruling his head, was cunning, short sighted, myopic, and stupid by now. He really believed what this monkey said. Both of them swam back to the banks of the river where the crocodile said, "Please get down and hurry up. Bring that heart to me so that we may all give it to my wife who is very hungry and is waiting to devour your heart." This monkey immediately climbed down, took a few laps, climbed up the tree, got crouched into a safe position, and from there he told this crocodile, "You stupid idiot, till yesterday I considered you my best friend. Have you ever thought how the heart of a particular living entity, whether male or female, whether human or not, can be taken out or detached and hidden in some safe place? I am no exception. My heart is still beating in my own gross body. Your wife was so cruel, sadistic, cunning, and conniving that she told you that she wanted to devour my heart. The person who had acted as a best friend and had been feeding you such tasty fruits, and you, being a very stupid husband, chose to believe and obey your conniving wife. Today is the last day. From tomorrow, please don't come to me to take fruits from me to taste, eat, and give them to your wife. Our friendship ends here. This shows that there cannot be any friendship between a person whose head is ruling his or her heart and a person whose heart is ruling his or her head. The first person is intelligent and the second person is cunning. These two can never be friends. Howsoever he or she may try, a cunning person always finds this intelligent person stupid and vice versa. The intelligent person finds the cunning person stupid, myopic, and short sighted. This we must remember while we deal with others in this humanity. Though the protagonist and antagonist in the story are reptiles and animals, even then we may try and succeed in correlating it with several human living entities, both male and female. Venom is inside every one of us. Same is the case with nectar. Intelligence is always with nectar, and cunning is always with malice and venom. An intelligent person is as sweet as the jamun fruit, the monkey, and a person who is full of nectar, while a cunning person is just like that she crocodile who is malicious, conniving, cunning, myopic, short sighted, greedy, lusty, and cruel and selfish. We must take a leaf out of the book that gives such a story about a monkey and his or its best friend, the crocodile. The female was all cunning, the female crocodile was all cunning, and the monkey was all intelligence. The male crocodile was in between. He was confused as to whether to obey his own wife or to get along well with his best friend, the monkey. This shows that we are judged by the company we keep. If we are in the company of intelligent people and we rub shoulders with such people, we become intelligent. On the other hand, if we are in the company of cunning people, we sooner or later get confused and probably we may succumb to the onslaughts of such continuously cunning and venomous people. We must all try to be in the company of positive, intelligent people. That is the teaching of this particular story. We must remember that we must always try to lead a very intelligent and positive life, get self realized, get materialistically saturated, then become spiritual, then self realized, and then try to get liberated from this endless chain of birth and death. The final stage is when we get delivered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead as fully evolved, mature, intelligent spirit souls. That is the purpose of life for every human and living entity, whether male or female. This is all I wanted to say in this particular video. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this particular case history. Please give me your own expert opinions, thoughts, and ideas so that I may blend everything together for the sake of this society. Before concluding, let me remind you that I am also a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.